camping right now, and I wanted to take a minute just to talk about where you can find firewood for your campfire. In my experience, you got 4 different options. The first one is you can find firewood just around the campsite, and that works as long as the campsite isn't used very often, because when you got more people coming through, you got more people picking up firewood off the ground. Also, if it rains and the wood is wet, it's not a very good option. Another option is a lot of times there are local like firewood stands, just private parties selling firewood. Usually those are pretty cheap for the bundle, usually around $5 or $6. Those are great, but they're hit or miss as far as is there going to be one near the campsite that you're going to be at or not. I've used them before in the past, and they're great as long as you got one near the campground that you're going to. Another option is buying firewood from the campground itself. Here in Wisconsin, a lot of our state parks actually sell firewood right at the campgrounds. That's probably my favorite way to get firewood, because that way you don't have to go driving down the road and go looking for it, and it's accessible right down the path usually, and it's usually pretty cheap. Here at this site, it's $6 per bundle, and usually there's a pretty decent mixture in there as far as firewood goes. It's usually kept in a dry spot too. And the last option that we use actually quite a bit is picking up firewood at a gas station. This is usually the most expensive option. There's gas stations all over the place. They're usually pretty close by. Here in Wisconsin, you're not allowed to transport firewood to a campsite outside of a 10-mile radius. So they're pretty strict on transporting firewood just to keep down the bugs and stuff that have been killing off trees and such. Usually they've got a pretty good spread of firewood in each bundle, but like I said, it tends to be pretty expensive, and a lot of the times the wood is kept right outside the front door where it's open to the elements, and it's oftentimes pretty damp. Sometimes that's your only option though. So those are just a couple tips on where to find firewood for your campfire, and hopefully you're able to find plenty of firewood for your next camping trip.